Hi everyone, it's Ginny here from Brave Blue Raven Art and Craft, and as you saw in the intro, for this video I'm going to be taking part in an assemblage collaboration with 6 other creators. This collab is the brainchild of Ina Salisbury, who reached out to 5 of us asking if we wanted to take part, and of course I said yes. The rules for this project are that we can make any size project we like in any style that we like, but we must use recycled bits and pieces only, nothing pre-made or manufactured. We must include the word recycle somewhere on our piece, and we must also include 1 or more movable parts. So yeah, I'll just explain what I'm doing here. First of all, I started with a board which was a backing to a large picture frame that my son threw out the rest of it because it broke, and he asked if I wanted to use this board, so I said yes. So that's the first recycled bit. The next bits are pieces, odd bits of lace, and at the moment I'm now gluing on some bags from onions, and I think the purple one was from avocados, so I'm just gluing those down. You can see my shadow there a bit because it was a particularly dark day when I was filming, and I had the overhead light behind me, so I get a bit of my shadow coming through, but hopefully it doesn't interfere too much with what you can see. Now I'm using some modelling paste and a piece of bag from that you get oranges in from the supermarket. So I'm just spreading some of that in a few places around. So nothing fancy, no fancy patterns or anything. I just wanted to stick to using recycled things. Now I've got some spray that I made just using some watercolour, so just a bit of yellow. So happy with that. I let that dry, and now I'm adding some gesso to a old picture frame which was also broken and not usable anymore. I've got a few of those actually in the cupboard that I want to do things with rather than throw them out. And now I'm obviously adding some acrylic paint to decorate it. And I'm using 3 main colours that I used on the other bigger board. I mainly chose these colours because of the colours of the little bits and pieces of onion bag and avocado bag that I stuck down, and also you'll see coming up soon that I use a picture with yellow in it, so I decided to just stick with those 3 colours, kind of make it a bit of a theme. So there's the picture. I slowed that down a bit so you can see it, because mostly I've sped this up very, very fast. I had to speed it up because Ina's asked us to keep our videos fairly short, at least under 20 minutes. So I think I managed to get it down to 15 minutes, but I had to cut an awful lot out and speed it up very, very fast. So there I am, it's all dry, and I'm putting the picture in with a bit of cardboard to hold it in place. And that picture I just got from a book that I got from the second-hand store. And now I'm just gluing down some old bits of broken jewellery, some beads there, and a bit of a bracelet, I think. I've been hoarding quite a lot of broken jewellery pieces and other odd bits of junk that were in my junk drawer for a long time. There's an old brooch, daisy brooch, I've glued down there. My sister gave me that years ago and it broke, so I thought I'd use it in an assemblage. At the moment I'm sticking down pieces, and I pulled a pair of old jeans apart and got all the little stud pieces and took them out. So now I'm gluing this frame down to the main backboard. And now what I'm planning to do is glue down a whole lot of other pieces around that frame. So I'm starting with buttons, and I'm still sticking with that red, purple and yellow colour theme. Working on this project took quite a few hours, spread out over a few weeks. Yeah, so I'm just continuing with a lot of junk, really. There's little bits of old toys from my children. There's an old sewing reel, cotton reel there. Broken bits and pieces of old, I don't know what. I've been collecting them for so long I can't remember where half of them came from. There's some old keys in there. Lots of old jewellery. That little silver frame and the pencil sharpener that I just put down before came from the Christmas bonbons where you get the little prizes in them. I've got quite a few pieces like that. Got some keys, old sewing bobbins. Here's a plastic fish from when you get sushi, you get the soy sauce inside. That little doll there, I just placed her there to get an idea of where I want her to sit, but I don't glue her down until much later. She was something my brother gave me years ago when he went to one of those, I forgot what they're called, recycled garbage or something, one of those places where there's a whole lot of stuff that you can buy that old factories and things throw out. Yeah, so just gluing down a whole heap more things, and I'll let you watch that and I'll explain what I'm doing when I come up to the next part. Just turned the light on here, I realised it was getting really too dark to see. Hopefully you can see that a bit better now. There goes the doll now. I'm using E6000. I started off with some really old glue that I only had a tiny bit left, and then I realised I didn't have anywhere else to get that same glue because they don't make it anymore, so I had to order some E6000 online. Now here I'm just flicking through quickly to show you a book which is about handbags. That it's an old library book that was discontinued and they were going to throw it out, so I got that to recycle the pictures for my craft work. So I've chosen this lady here. I think she looks quite elegant. but I decided to change her a bit. Just carefully cutting out the bit in her arm. Now I'm inking her edges. And this is where I decide to change her. I'm using watercolour crayons, and I want to change the colour of her outfit so that it is in keeping with the theme with the 3 colours. Because this picture is a bit glossy, I had trouble getting the watercolour crayon to sit evenly. So you'll notice a bit later on when I show close-up photos it's a bit patchy, but I'm not really too fussed about that. I think the overall effect is still okay. I did try using some clear gesso to help the crayon stick to the paper better, and it did help in some parts, but in other parts it just made it look even more patchy. So, but yeah, I'm still not too fussed about that. I still think it turned out okay. Here I'm using some metallic purple paint, just colouring in her buttons on her cardigan. I just realised as I'm recording this voiceover, my dog is sleeping right next to me and he's breathing quite heavily, so if you hear some funny noises, that's what it is. Now here I'm piercing a hole where her hand is clenched in a fist, and I'm threading an old jewellery piece on some wire through there, and now I'm using a little ring and putting some beads, red and yellow beads, onto that ring, and that will hold the piece that's dangling from her hand, that will hold that in place. And I just put a couple of beads on her hat as well. Now I'm choosing where I want my lady to go and gluing her down. And now here we needed to include the word recycle, and Ina said we could do that in any way we wanted, be it large or small, made of any material or handwritten. So I decided to use some wire and bent it into the shape, and now I'm colouring it with permanent marker. I cut most of that out because it's a bit boring, and now I'm sticking it on to that piece that I used there in that corner. That spring came out of one of those shaker bottles where you my kids used to use them to shake up their protein powders. So I'm using that, and I'm showing you the movable parts are the piece dangling from the lady's hand and the spring that wobbles when you touch it. And there's my piece hanging on the wall and some close-up photos. So I'd just like to remind you that there are 6 of us all together taking part in this collaboration. Links to all their videos will be in the description box down below. Please go and check out what they've made. I'm dying to see myself what each one of them has made, because they are all unique and very interesting artists. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Bye for now.